Hello everyone, I'm thrilled to be back with you again today, and I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would be running in the provincial election and then turn around and run in the federal election. Who knew it would be so close, right? But I am running in Bruce Grey, Owen Sound for the United Party of Canada, and I really encourage you to go online and check it out, unitedpartyofcanada.ca. So there are two fundamental truths that we are founded on, and that is the supremacy of God and the rule of law. Because Canada is in crisis. If you want to picture it, it's like a house burning. You don't send someone to the bank to check their accounts. You run in and you rescue those inside. You can deal with the finances later, and I'm not saying or suggesting that finances aren't important. Absolutely, they are. But we need to rescue Canadians from the absolute tragedies and the crisis that is happening within Canada. And I would say first and foremost that the major crisis is the death culture in Canada. And so that is from everything from abortion to maid killing our elderly, and in between. My son, who's 44 years old, was in hospital in December in Vancouver, and he was not only offered MAID, he was encouraged to take it, to kill himself. I was just appalled when he called and talked to me about that, and he was very depressed, and I just, said to him, you have family, we love you, don't think about doing this. And he didn't, thank God. But he's 44. So it's not just about the elderly. And then we have the medicalization and mutilation of children, which is promoted and encouraged through our education system, of course, but also through the federal government and the gender ideology that has become so prevalent across our nations. So we have a problem in Canada. We have more than one, that's for sure. But we want to reinforce Canadian sovereignty and law in governance. We want to see Canadians protected. We don't want foreign entities to become our government. We want to protect Canada from foreign interference, foreign involvement, and we will withdraw Canada from the global pacts that we have been investing in, which mean that other people who are unelected, they weren't voted for, they weren't elected, control Canadians. No, we want Canadians to control Canada. We do not want foreign interference. So we will withdraw from the UN, the WHO, and the WEF. And we want to strengthen national unity across our nation. Right now, no one's talking about the very real reality that Alberta is not just considering leaving Canada, they are actually fast-tracking to leave Canada. What does that mean for Canadians? We need to encourage Canadian sovereignty, and we need to listen to the population. Albertans have been trying to talk about equalization payments and unfair treatment for decades. And our conservative leader, Mr. Poilievre, is still refusing to listen and will not come to the table on this issue. Well, there's so much that can be said, but Canada really has lost its way in many moral issues for sure, but also in the area of our workforce and resources. And the United Party of Canada is intent on opening up our resources again. That's what makes Canada a place, a destination, a workforce. We have a workforce to once again ignite and encourage. So Canada was built on hard work, our rich resources, and limitless potential. We have limitless potential, but we're not talking about it. And we need to really look at that. We need an east to west pipeline, and we need to be released, I believe, from the Paris Climate Accord. Canadians are pretty smart people. You're pretty smart people. You're going to get a good education, and I believe we have the workforce to take care of our environment. We teach young people the very basics, and we need to go back to some training again, because I think some of us have forgotten, not only the young people but the older ones, just simple things on how to protect the environment. We are a very consumer oriented population. How can we restrict plastics? How can we've got intellect in Canada that will help lead the way. We don't need foreign entities to tell us how to do it. So we're going to expand the pipelines, and we're going to cut corporate taxes and remove capital gains penalties, eliminating bureaucratic red tape so we can get things done, including home building. There's so many things we could talk about here, but Canada has the resources, we have the workforce, we just need the freedom to build. We need the freedom to encourage entrepreneurs. We need the freedom within Canada to do the work we were called to do. So, absolutely, Canada needs to be governed by Canadians. No foreign power to regulate us. We are adults who can regulate ourselves. We need to investigate and prosecute all foreign entities that interfere with our elections and our democratic process. So there's many things there. Let me see what else I had. Oh yes, I want to talk about strong families, because strong families are the very foundation of who we are. It's the very foundation for the nation, and we need to encourage strong families. So the United Party of Canada will actually reward families. We will go back to income splitting for taxation purposes. We are actually going to reward families, couples for childbirth. That there will be tax cuts and incentives for couples to have children and to have more children, because we really have the ability to repopulate if we're allowed to do that, and encourage young couples to have children. It is such a blessing. And the other thing I want to mention, I want to talk about abortion for a minute. It's not a nice subject, but I want to share very carefully with you that there is no law in Canada. There's no law for abortion. And that is a heinous, I would say, it's a decision made by our political parties, including the Conservative Party of Canada, who our leader has said that he will not reopen any kind of abortion conversation. And we have in Canada the ability, and this happens, for a young mother to abort her baby when it's leaving the birth canal. This is horrific, to think we can abort babies. The law is that that baby isn't considered human until the feet are out of the birth canal, that it leaves the body of the woman. I can't tell you how that makes me grieve. I'll share a personal story with you. In 1955, my mother was pregnant. She'd been raped, and I was conceived. She was offered an abortion. Thank God she turned it down. Was it difficult for her at that time? Oh, far more difficult than it is for young women today. In fact, she ended up putting me in a foster home. She left the hospital without me and put me in a foster home for 3 years until she married and then was able to be reunited with me. It was hard. There weren't the services that we have for young women today. There were no pregnancy centers. There was no help for young women in 1955, but she made a choice. And I want to tell you that abortion really isn't about choice, because it's not about a woman's choice, because the body of the woman is so different from the body of the infant. This babe in the womb has its own DNA. It's not the mother's body. It's held in the womb till birth, and it is fed through the placenta, but the DNA, this is a separate living human being from conception on. And so I have great sorrow and sadness when I think of the number of babies who have been aborted. And in Canada, the low estimate is 4.5 million since 1969. And so I did a little calculation, and if each of those individuals had grown to maturity and had children and had grandchildren, 2 children each, we would have added 31.5 million adults or children, people, humans, to Canada and to the workforce. We wouldn't have a workforce problem. We've been aborting Canadians for years. That should tell us something about the moral decay in Canada, that alone. And so the United Party of Canada is going to help young women. We're going to fund more pregnancy centers. We're going to open up adoption and help adoptive parents to get the babies quickly, the children quickly, not wait for years. And then we're going to help them financially afterwards as well, because there's some special things that happen. Sometimes the babies have some pre-existing health concerns. So we need to help young women, not kill the babies. And we need to help the elderly, not kill them. We need to provide excellent palliative care. So those are some of the things that the United Party of Canada is very concerned about. Hope you'll check the website, unitedpartyofcanada.ca, and thank you for listening. I appreciate you so much. Take care.